So we are currently in one of the ambulances here at the command center. I am going to be speaking to AEMT Abdul Rahman. AEMT, he tells me, is Advanced Emergency Medical Technician. All right, thank you for joining us here on Join You. So briefly walk us through what we see here in this particular ambulance.
So we'll start from here.
Okay.
We have a syringe pump. We have syringe pump. This, we use it to give medication.
Okay.
At the time you want it to be given. You can set it to the actual time, or I want to give this medication every 10 minutes. This medication, or within 1 hour, this medication should finish. So you set it up, you put the settings in, then it does that for you. Okay, so that's the syringe pump. Syringe pump.
Okay.
And we have AED. This is automated external defibrillator. Automated external defibrillator. These are the electrodes that we attach to the part when someone falls into cardiac arrest. Okay. So these parts, you put one on the upper right chest and lower left, upper right chest and lower left chest. Then it will tell you what to do next. Okay. So that's why it is automated, because it's going to guide you to do what you want to do. Yes, this is automated external defibrillator. It will go off by itself. We also have ventilator. This ventilator, we use it when someone is in respiratory arrest or the person is intubated. Okay. That the person cannot breathe on his own. This is what we use when there's intubation. It has an oxygen cylinder in,
okay,
which you use.
Open oxygen cylinder.
Okay.
This is how it is. So it has a cables, and it also normally helps when you are performing cardiac compression. When the person is to cardiac arrest, it has its own monitors that you use to do that. So this will be connected to the oxygen. It has a portable oxygen in here,
okay,
which we can, let me show you.
Open oxygen cylinder.
You realize that when I put it on, it's saying I should open oxygen,
yes,
oxygen cylinder. So this is how it is. You see how portable it is.
Okay.
So I'll open the oxygen cylinder. So it's not telling me what to do now, next. So these cables will be connected to it.
Okay.
Then it will be connected to the patient. Then it will help the patient to breathe for the patient. Okay. Okay, so we also have suction unit. This is a suction unit. When
to remove what? Saliva,
saliva,
blood.
yes, blood, especially in the airway. So the patient cannot control the fluid in the mouth. So this will assist the patient to get the fluid out of the patient's airway. And we also have oxygen units. This is the humidifier with regulator. It has a connection all the way back to the oxygen cylinder we have here. We have a major oxygen cylinder back here, which is connected here. So when you have your patient here and you have to give oxygen, you just connect it and you regulate it from here. You realize that it's boiling, telling you that there's oxygen. So you can feel the air when you open it. You can feel it.
Yeah.
Yes. So we have oxygen suction units. This is also oxygen suction units, which helps you when the patient is here and you have to suction. You just connect it to the catheter, then you do your suction. But with this one, this is mobile, this is portable. If the patient is outside, you just move with it and go and do it. Okay. So this is how it is. You just put it on, then you start with your catheters, you start using, and it's chargeable.
Okay.
Check pressure hose system and gas supply.
Okay, so we have a monitor. This is a monitor which, when you have your patient, it has a BP, it has a temperature, it has a respiratory monitoring system which they attach the leads to the patient and determine and see what is actually happening to my patient. So it's very, very good that we have this in this car because it's going to make the work easy for us. It has a pulse saturation cable, which you can attach and know the oxygen saturation in the patient. And we have a fluid pump. This is fluid pump. With this fluid pump, when you are going to give fluid, where the layman person will say drip.
Okay.
So when you are giving the drip, you are going to give the drip. This is what you do. It will be connected here like this. You put it in here like this, and this one connects to the patient.
Okay.
You get it? It connects to the patient. Then it will be regulated. Then it will, if the number of hours or the number of minutes you want it to be used, then you regulate it here, then it will give you that. And I think one of the new things that we have in the new ambulances, right? And we have a fetal monitor. With the fetal monitor, we use it to determine a pregnant woman how the baby is doing. Is the baby alive or not alive?
Okay.
So that's what we use it for. That's a fetal monitor.
So if it detects that the baby is alive, then
yes,
what?
yes. Then you know you are on good course.
Okay.
Normally, where some of the hospitals, when you go, they normally use the manual. But with this one, this can be attached and be on the patient for how long you are going.
Okay. So
And
this become very necessary. The patient is like a pregnant woman involved in an accident.
accident.
Okay.
Not actually accident, but maybe in the hospital there's a referral. You are referring because of prolonged labor.
Okay.
And they don't have theater to descend. So they will call us. Then we will do the transport. And meanwhile, on transport, we are giving the care to monitor whatever is going on in there.
Okay.
So we have a dustbin here. We have a sharp container here, and I think let's look at the oxygen. We have the oxygen cylinder here. Actually, we have a major oxygen cylinder. This is major oxygen cylinder. Let me open it for you to see. This is how it is.
Okay.
So this is major one. This is when we have the patient. When we use the portable one to transport the patient into the vehicle, then we'll connect it like I showed you. We just connect it. So the oxygen is connected to the main humidifier here, which gives us the oxygen when we want to administer, so that we didn't waste the portable one. So all the time there's oxygen in the vehicle. And we also have a spine board. This is a spine board. And this one is for pediatrics or child.
Oh.
Yes. And we have what we call the KED.
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 Spelled how? C-U-R-D.
K-E-D.
Okay, K-E-D.
Yes, KED. This one we normally use it when there's accidents and the person is stuck to the steering wheel or in the seats.
Okay.
That is where we use it because we suspect spine injury. So this is what we use to extricate the person because we are suspecting a spine injury. This is how it is. So it's just like a jacket that you put at your back. Yeah, you can just show them. This is how it is.
Okay.
This is how it is. Yes. So it's a hard, so that can keep the spine straight when the person is seated.
Okay.
Yes. And we also have a stair chair. We also have a stair chair. And this one, we normally use it when we have a patient, especially with domestic cases, and we have to bring the patient down. So this is what we use to, this is what we use. So, and this performs two functions. We can use it for a stretcher or a chair.
Okay.
Yes. So this is how it looks like. become a chair for you.
Okay.
So it has a wheels under. So when you are coming from upstairs, the movement become easy for you. Yes.
These are fascinating fittings in the ambulance. I have never seen these kind of equipment in an ambulance before.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe because I've not been inside an ambulance before.
Yes.
And I don't want to be in an ambulance anytime soon.
Right?
But I wouldn't be in an emergency situation. I'm not praying for that kind of an emergency situation where I have to be lying here, etc.
I see. So with the spine board, let's go down here.
Okay.
Can we go down? So this is the main trolley of the ambulance. This is the main trolley, which you put your patient on, you load the patient. Can I come out with it?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how it is. Sorry. This is how it is. The spine board that we saw, the short one for kids, we also have for adults. So this is for adults. So normally we use this when we suspect that there's a problem with the spine. It has a head blocks that we can use to stabilize the head so that we don't compromise on the spine. Okay. Yes.
But I guess all of these, the use of these equipment in the ambulance is time bound, so that
it's time bound. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you get to the accident scene, for example, what's the quickest you can be able to deploy some of these equipment to ensure the person is stabilized? I'm told that it depends on an assessment of sorts that you do when you get there.
Yes.
Okay.
And also depending on the, let me see, the situation over there.
Okay.
Maybe there's with the accident, there's a fuel leakage. You don't know the kind of fuel it is. And maybe you are there, it can explode. So sometimes it's also determined whether I should be there and manage as quickly as possible to move, or I should manage before I move. Okay. So it depends. Right. Yes. So whilst we are doing our scene assessment is priority to us, because we can't go and save someone when we are endangering our life. And we also have what you call the scoop. Okay. If I say scoop, you scoop something. Okay, this is how it is. So when you have your patients, so if the patient is lying down, and such a patient I can't touch, I can't carry. Okay. Especially with burn case, you can't touch any part of the body. So we just use this to scoop. So one side goes here and this side comes there. So as soon as it gets inside, you lock it. Yes, you lock it. Okay. But also there's another this thing on it that depending on the length of the person. So I can extend this. You get it? I can extend it. This is how it is. You can extend it and get the height of the person, to cover the height of the person. So as soon as it gets under, you just lock it, you are good to go. Okay. Can I get the advanced bag? That advanced bag.
Okay, so what we're watching now is, a comprehensive tour of one of the ambulances being conducted by AEMT Abdurrahman. AEMT, Advanced Emergency Medical Technician with the ambulance service. So he's taking us through the various equipments that we see in the ambulance and how they deploy these equipment in case of an emergency. And of course, time-bound exercise that they carry out. Okay, so this is the what?
This is the paramedic bag. Okay. So with this one, if I have to pack my ambulance for a long distance, This everything is in it. Whatever I want as a paramedic. So as soon as I pick it, I don't go back and ask for anything again.
Okay. So the drugs,
everything I need, gauzes, my airway, my everything is inside. So you just pick it, you know you are good to go. You don't go and come back and say, well, go and pick me this, go and pick me that.
So like you have to ensure that everything is in
before you pick it. But it's always on standby. It's always on standby that everything is in.
Okay.
Yes. So this is what we call the mouth to mask. This is what we call the mouth to mask. So with this one, when you want to breathe for the patient, you want to help the patient to breathe. You place it on the patient, then you blow. Okay. It has a barrier here. It has a valve there. When I'm breathing to the patient, I will not send any infection to the patient. The patient also breathes, it doesn't send any infection to me. Okay. And that is very, very good. And every individual should have this at workplace.
Oh.
Yes, every individual should have this at workplace. It's not expensive. Every individual, okay. Maybe someone is having respiratory or someone is having asthmatic attack.
Okay.
And you realize that, oh, if I've helped this patient with breathing, I can survive that. You do it. Okay. Yes, yes. So this is what some of the tools for paramedics.
Okay. So you had that you need, what is it called again?
Mouth to mask.
Mouth to mask. They say you need it in your
workplace.
You know, in case of any
with
respiratory related emergency.
With this one, you know, this is BVM, bag valve mask. It serves at the same purpose of this.
Okay.
So it has a mask. It has a mask that you use, and this one is for pediatrics, children. Okay. It has a mask that you use. If you look at the shape, you see it goes here. So if you have a child who is not breathing or a baby who is not breathing well, you can use this. But this one, you have to be a trained person before you can use this. But with this one, with the mouth to mask, anybody can use it.
Okay.
With this one, anybody can use it. And it's very, very helpful when you have this. You can have someone, you will say, me, that contents. This, if you have this, it helps a lot. So give me the laryngoscope. The laryngoscope. So this is tourniquet. If you want to set a line, you want to give infusion, drip.
Okay.
Yes. So these are the things that you use to do that. Okay, so we'll tie it like this. Yeah. Okay. You go like this, and before they will set the line on you.
Okay.
Yes, that's the purpose. Yes. So you realize that with this bag, you have everything intact. You have your bandages, everything intact. These are some of the batteries to the laryngoscope. Have you found the laryngoscope? Okay. So you realize that the ambulance is standard.
Yes.
It's standard. Whatever we need to work as a paramedic or a EMT, everything is in. You realize that some of the monitor like this, you go to some hospitals, they don't have monitor. But with this ambulance and you are going to that hospital to pick such a person, you realize that you can use this to advance the assessment of your patient. And it helps us a lot. And we also have high chairs here, which sometimes we have to pick certain medications or blood, then we can keep everything. We also have an ice pack. Give me that one. The two bags. So this is also a foldable stretcher. This is foldable. So it's made so simple. You can carry it. So this is how it is. So bring, let me have it. Leave it. So you realize that when you have your patient, to carry your patient, everything becomes easy. It has its own straps. And you wouldn't imagine that certain will be in this bag. It's a carrying device. And we have what we call the vacuum splints. When we have someone with a fracture and we want to, hold the fracture at the right position, the natural position, this is what we will use. So it has a pump. So you deflate it. Once you are deflated, it becomes very hard. That can hold whatever you want to hold in position. It just hold it. Okay. This is the pump. So you put it in here. Then, can you see that? See, it's become very hard. So if I want to, yes. So depending on where I want to split, is it the the lower leg, or the upper limbs? So let me do that for you. So hold it. So depending, I'll use a strap to hold it in position. Remove the strap on. I'm coming. Yeah. So if I want to use it, then I'll bring this. I'll put this, then so in the olden days we normally use, especially with RTA, they have to look for cardboard or they have to look for wood to put it there and use bandage and do that. But this had made so simple that as soon as you put it, you deflate it, it becomes very hard. So you can see the movement now. So it holds it in the position you want it. Okay. So normally with a fracture like this, when you want to immobilize it, you have to put it in the natural position. So when you put it in the natural position and you put this there, it holds it the position you want. Because when you don't do that and the bones start moving, you are creating more harm than good. Yes. So we have the leg 1, 2. Actually, this ambulance came with so many different things that we never think of it. And this one is the simple fracture mobilizer. You can see how it is. Okay. When you have a pain or there's a fracture, you are feeling it, and this is how you can use it. And we also have a sling. This is the sling. So someone with pain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you sling, it goes like this, then your hand is in like this. So you realize that everything becomes easy for you. That's how it is. So we have for the leg as well. Okay. So actually, we also have there are certain petty things in the ambulance. Ourselves, we are surprised to see them. This is a bedpan. if you have a patient and you are transporting and the patient want to wee-wee, this is what you use. And this is disposable. You just use it and you dispose it off. Yes. And you can see the black things come back. You can see the black things over there.
Oh, those ones.
Those ones, yes, they are the infusion. When you have infusion, you hang them there whilst it's on the patient.
Okay.
And actually, some of the things that they brought for adults
And the kids.
This is the head block I was talking about. So this one, when you pick a patient with a spine injury, and you put the patient down, this is what you use to hold the head in position, to restrict movements. Because the more you move the patient, the more you are causing more harm to the patient. Yes. You didn't see the laryngoscope? The bag, check in one of the drawers. Actually, it's. Let me see.
This one is the old bag, so it's not there.
No, I mean in the drawer. Yes. We have what we call laryngoscope. When we have a patient who has a respiratory arrest, the person cannot breathe. So we have to pass a tube, and we have a device that we use to open the airway, place the tube, and get the patient breathing. And that is where we use the ventilator, the black one I was talking about. That is where we connect the ventilator to the patient, and we can help the patient to breathe till we get to the hospital. And with this transport, there's constant communication with the hospital, telling them the situation we are having. So we don't get there and they wouldn't be aware.
Okay.
So the hospital should be aware that, oh, we are bringing so and so and so, and this is the condition of the person. So they should prepare and receive us. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
So you just heard there from AEMT. I hope I got it right. AEMT, Advanced Emergency Medical Technician Abdul Rahman, just taking us through what the components of this ambulance are and how they help in, transporting victims or individuals or patients safely from one point to the other, especially the health facilities for help. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
For your time and taking
welcome.
us through all of these.
You're welcome.